Good morning, YouTubers. Well, clarify. I wouldn't call it morning because it's almost 4:30 in the afternoon. But because of the jobs I've been doing, I'm finding that I'm most productive during certain times of the day when it comes to both, the amount of money I'll make in a fast period of time versus having to wait long periods of time. So I've been sleeping in. I've been thinking a lot about possessions. The things that we own. And, it's been kind of just these different thoughts been passing through my head. Like, what's really important to me? What do I want to keep? What would I never want to lose? What would be lost last? If everything burned in a fire, what order would you want things to burn? Books are a really big deal to me. My books, all of these books, and all of those books. Those are probably my most cherished possessions. Are my books. And then from there, it would go into, well, actually, now that I think about it, my clothes are probably also up there and tied with my books. My clothes. Furniture can be replaced. Even if it has, sentimental value, furniture can be replaced. And it's something you put things in. But things like your clothes and things like your books, your knowledge, they just, they're so important to me. And what brought all this up was I was making a speech out loud to myself in my apartment because I do that all the time. I talk to myself all the time. It's a thing. And so I'm making this speech, and all of a sudden I realized I sounded like I was making a speech from the show Heroes. It came on NBC or Fox. I think it was NBC. And I realized I wanted to watch it. And so I walked towards my movies, and I start realizing as I'm walking there, did I sell those? And I did. Because when I was moving back in California, I was so low on cash. I had so little stuff. And what's really weird now is that now, months later, after I gave those movies away, because I sold basically all my DVDs. I kept all my Blu-rays, but I sold all of my DVDs, and I don't think I sold Heroes. I thought I kept all of my television shows. I kept Sex and the City, I kept Will and Grace, kept Xena. But for some reason, I sold Heroes. I'm in shock. And so, I'm sad. I probably got $2 for each of those box sets, probably $8. And I probably spent, it was about, I think it was 20, 40. It was, so what is that? $120 for $8. And beyond the $112 difference, my spirit feels crushed. I want to go watch it. There's this recharge that I do with movies. If I'm feeling down or certain things happening to me in life, then I'll go and watch certain movies of people that are going through a similar situation, and it heals and works out and for the better. I think we all do that, don't we? Not saying that life is the movies or movies are life, but life and movies are definitely part of the same idea of experiences and circumstances. And I'll be honest, I've had a few life experiences that I think there's no way that someone has saw this for a movie, and it's a brilliant idea, so maybe all those movies are real. It's I find it funny that Star Wars opens up with, is it a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away? Just saying how all this futuristic stuff, all this travel that we don't even have, all these advanced robotics and mechanics and alien life that we have no knowledge of, it happened a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And I was watching this video on Facebook, and it was the entire formation of the universe from the moment before it happened to now in 10 minutes. It was on average 22 million years per second. And I'm watching all this stuff happen. All these stars explode and spread out and create galaxies. And then halfway through the 13.8 billion years that we're aware of, halfway through, a lot of the stars died and became dust and created new stars. And then I realized oh my God, those stars all had planets. In that first 5.5 billion years, all those stars had planets. And since we now know that the Earth, along with like a moon over, I think, Saturn, like there's 2 or 3 different places in our own galaxy that are supporting life. It might just be cellular life, but it's life. Like, all of those planets had life on them in some way or form, or developing towards. And that was only halfway through. And all of a sudden, I felt so humbled and small and infinite. All of a sudden I felt like my possibilities for my life and the places that it can go and the talents that all of us have are infinite. And I thought that, and it took me to Heroes and Peter Petrelli, because my eyes itching me crazy. Peter Petrelli is the number 1/2. They're tied, I guess, for first, but we'll talk about that in a second. He is the number 1 superhero in that show. And the reason why is because Peter has the ability to be empathic with other people's talents, other people's superpowers. So Peter can be anything and anyone that he meets. Like, boom. The other one, the /2 that I mentioned, is Sylar, and he's the bad guy. He can be anyone too, but he kills them. He kills them and then eats part of their brain, which I think is the pineal gland. It never says that, but I think he eats their pineal gland. And he also takes on their powers. So one of them kills to take, and one of them empathically connects to take. I'm the empath. I am an empath, and it's one reason why over the last several months of living alone and working from home and knowing that any moment, if I don't want to go to work for the next 3 hours, I don't have to. I can make it up. And it's because I absorb so much energy from people around me. I mean, and it's not just the obvious things like the actions they're taking or the words they're speaking. It's more so the emotions they feel, the vibrations they give off, how they carry their body. Oh my gosh. I did not realize how much I absorb people's posture. It's crazy. I absorb everything. And whether or not people believe me, I absorb their thoughts and their energy patterns too. And that's why sometimes people will sit next to me, and I've said it to people out loud, people I don't know, and just you think really loudly, and it's they do. I can feel it. I might not be able to process your words, each and every single one, but for some reason I can get into the folder. And if I just sit there and talk about what I think I'm hearing you say and watch your facial expressions, I can get deeper and deeper and deeper. It's weird. And so my point is, possessions have energy that we absorb. They have energy. Your grandmother has this necklace and her mother gave it to her, and she just wore it her whole life for 40, 50 years, and then she gives it to you. And then you keep it for 30 or 40 years, and then you give it away. There's something far beyond the possession itself. It's what energy transference happens when you have the possession with you. And I tell you right now, they say when you lose everything, that's when you're being torn down to be built up again better. Well, sweet Lord Jesus, it's just crazy how much loss I've experienced this, and I call the year basically August until July. That's my year. I've always been in school or teaching, so it's always been August is when everything starts, and May is when it ends, and June, July, you might be on vacation, you might be working, you might be having fun, who knows? You might go to camp. And this has been a very intense year of loss and grief and of letting go. Oh my Lord, I let go of possessions. I let go of my identity with teaching. I let go of the need for my parents' approval. I let go of wanting to make my friends happy while making myself miserable. I gave up and let go of letting misguided truths carry on when they're causing harm. You know, at some point, like, as you let go of all of it and you really sacrifice yourself, your ego, for the greater whole, oh my gosh, it hurts. When I, like, it was just, you know, so many things that have happened, and I'm sitting there in my dining room, and all of a sudden I want to go watch that show, and I go to my DVDs, and I realize that I don't have it anymore. And this deep, deep sorrow came up, and it wasn't even about the DVDs. It's just been, I've been so hit lately with having to be forced to let things go by life, like maybe things I should have let go of, and now I'm being forced to let it go. And oh my Lord, there's this channel in dance we call the plumb line. Okay, it's a plumb line, and it goes from the very top of your head, the very tip of your crown, all the way down through your sacrum and through your tailbone. Like it pulls you up and down all the time. Okay, and from there it's spreading out and into the corners and blah blah, up and down. It's the plumb line. And my Lord, that plumb line feels like it's being reset. Like I feel really crooked externally, like on the outside world, and with my limbs, everything feels very crooked, but my core is straightening the F up. There's this very angry man inside of me that I didn't know was there. Like, I mean, I've seen anger inside of me a few times. Like in my life, I've gotten angry, but this anger, it's so different. It's not fast, and it's not explosive. It's like lava. This deep, seated, moving, heated energy. Like, and I'm calling it anger because you can take anger and focus it into anything you want, right? You can take anger and focus it into writing a novel. Okay? You can do it. But this anger, I don't know what it's for. I have no idea what it's for. And I'm seeing all the different situations in my life with people, whether it be people I know genuinely through me, through movies, through stories, through history, and all of a sudden their anger that led them to certain places, oh my gosh, like, people have been really hurt. Like, we get hurt, and some people really never recover, and they become very, very scary, angry, older individuals. And oh my goodness, and I am doing everything right now to just ask myself, why is this anger here? Why is all this loss happening? Why is grief so hard to get up off of? Like, oh my Lord, like grief. And so, I breathed in, and all of a sudden, and we're fine. I'm just so thankful because there has been a steady energy in my life. There's been a very steady energy that's been coming in. I'm not quite sure how to harness it. Like, as I'm losing the external world possessions, I'm having to go inside to pull all of my energy from. It's rough. I think when I opened this channel, My 5D Journey, my goal was to help people. And somewhere along the way of wanting to just share my message, because I feel like I'm supposed to, I ended up just helping me. I ended up helping myself figure me out. And it's making me realize how much time I spent figuring out everybody else when I didn't even know me. And if you don't know yourself, what I'm finding is it's impossible to know anyone else because they're all you. Somewhere far enough back, we all came from the same root, which means we're all family. And family, you let be. You know, there's no changing them. There's no trying to make them fit you. It's accepting that they are the way that they are and then not saying anything about it and letting them go through their journey. I need to brush my teeth. El the Fifth! It's that shake. Those little flax seeds get stuck. And so you're supposed to grind them up into powder first, but I do not have a device that grinds seeds into powder. I used to, and it broke. By the way, guys, if you're going to buy something, buy a really expensive version of that thing because they last longer. Yeah, they really do. As I say that, maybe not. Let go of your possessions that you do not need. They will lead you to a higher place. Like, this feeling right now is beyond anything I can comprehend inside of my ego, in my mind. It's a feeling that just, and I'm trying to put words to it by telling you guys about it. And I hope that by my spirit talking, because honestly, this was all spirit. I did not control most of this conversation. I hope it helped you find it. Let go of your possessions. Let go of yourself. Let go of your needs. Let go of your expectations. Let go of numbers and letters and directions and colors and light and dark. Let go of it. They're not real. None of that stuff is real. And the more I meditate on it and the more I spend time alone, I'm just really finding me. And I am not any of those things, because those things are of the world and I'm only in it. I, we, you, them, her, him, that one, and probably the other one too. None of them are of the world. We're all in it. Christ said that. Be in the world, but not of the world. And that's the message. That's the evolution. That's the divine inspiration and transcendence that happens when we let go of the fact that nothing out there is actually real. All that is real is us. Our minds, our consciousness. That's all. That's all. Okay. El the Fifth was not here today. I think this was El the Eighth. I don't know who came in. But y'all have a really great day.